I'm showing you all the fun exclusive stitches that come with the Husqvarna Viking Brilliance 75. Now, we talk about doing a stitch book so you can get an idea of how they stitch out, what size they are, what they're going to look like. Now, you don't have all these stitches, but you do have a lot of them. So I'm going to show you how to find these stitches in the machine, what to be prepared for a pop-up stitch, like what is that? And then also at the end, we're going to put a link in this top corner and in the description to a video where I'm going to show you how a pop-up stitch actually stitches out. So for here, we're really just showing you around the screen and how to find your pop-up stitches and how would you even know that that was a pop-up stitch in the first place. So start by going to your orange menu. You can touch the zigzag here to open up all the lettered menus. Remember, you can also touch and hold that pink tab at the top to find that list as well. Arrow down till you find the menu L. Now, menu L is called dimensional stitches. We've done a video on what the applique stitches are. Those are the stitches that actually look kind of grayed out, and that's because fabric is placed there. As we go to the next page, which you can touch these little bubbles here, there's 3 pages of dimensional stitches. Or you can also arrow to the side to find the stitches that you're looking for. So pop-up stitches look like, let's go ahead and do this one that looks like a little fan here, starting at 16. Now, when you look at this stitch, it does not look like much, correct? So let's touch the question mark over here and touch the stitch to get an idea of, number one, what it's called. Yes, we have found one of the pop-up stitches. And also a few steps that you need to do. First off is you must activate the needle down up button for this technique to work. So you'll actually come over here. So when the machine stops, the needle stops down, and then that's when you do pivoting or placement of the pop-up. And it will always tell you, and I always have to look too, turn your project 90 degrees counterclockwise. Okay, so that's the part that I always have to look, because is it counterclockwise or clockwise for this to actually work. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to place a link in the top corner here to a video where I've actually done a pop-up stitch on a different machine, so you will want to follow those directions. But here is where you can find the pop-up stitches. Stitch number 15, 16 is a pop-up stitch, and then we get into sequin stitches. So you have a couple of those. Now, you will also find, this is kind of fun, remember I talked about applique stitches? There is a couple stitches here that are both an applique stitch and a pop-up stitch combined. So you alternate the 2 techniques for a totally different look. So you actually end up with a combined applique and pop-up stitch. And so once you've done applique stitches and pop-up stitches, you can come back to stitch 13 and 14 and try them as a combination, which is kind of fun. So again, use the question mark, touch, so it will tell you what to expect when the machine stops at each step. One is going to be for a pop-up and one's going to be for an applique. Totally fun. But if you're making yourself a stitch book, this is a great way to practice and learn about how to find the stitches. Make sure that you're also putting the right foot on, that it's recommending at the top of the screen, and then just being able to go, yes, these are stitches I have in my machine, and you can start thinking of where you're going to use them next. We use them on our Stitching Cosmos online course. That's a course that you can take to really master additional uses of decorative stitches, accessory feet, and join us for over 7.5 hours of sewing techniques that you're going to use this beautiful Husqvarna Viking Brilliance 75Q every step of the way.